For today's project, you're going to need the upgraded control board that you've purchased, a RTB probe. This is a temperature probe for inside of the grill. You're going to want a flathead micro screwdriver. Optionally, you could have a zip tie. Also going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and a couple nuts and bolts. Not shown on this video is a drill with a drill bit attached, and I also used a Dremel to cut some metal. Today I'll be working on my Traeger Barbecue 075 modeled pellet grill. On this project, the first thing you want to do obviously is unplug it. And then here I'm removing the two screws that hold the control board onto the smoker itself. Once I get that off, you're going to want to unplug all four of the wiring harnesses. There's clips that hold them together. I just want to make sure that you unplug each of those, just being careful not to pull any wires or have anything come loose inside of the grill itself. Here you can see the old board on the right, the new board on the left. The wiring harnesses colors are pretty much the exact same. The new board does have a little bit more purple to it. That one wire and the other one has a little bit blue tint, but all the color coding matches up the exact same way. Alright, here I'm taking the new control board and kind of lining things up with the existing hole. This is the point where I realized that the face of the control board is identical to the old one, so the same size, the holes match up for the screws, but the actual components on the back side are significantly larger than the old ones. So now we're going to have to go into grab the Dremel with a metal cutting attachment and start grinding away at the sides, and then it's even a little too tall, so you're going to have to cut away on the top or bottom side as well. You can see there how much wider it actually was. I ended up cutting about 3/8 of an inch off. One thing that I did here was unintentionally cut a little too much off on the right side, and so when I ended up connecting my new control board at the very end, you'll see that I can see a little bit of my rough cut work exposed outside of the control board face. So make sure when you're cutting your 3/8 inch off, you do it evenly on both sides so that it's hidden behind the face of the control board. And then here I'm just grinding everything down with a little sanding disc. Next, we're going to go inside the actual grill itself and hook up the probe that is going to gauge the temperature and tell the new control board when to feed pellets and when to stop. You're going to need a drill here. I wish I had a metal bit. This is actually a bit for wood, so it took me a pretty good amount of time and a lot of effort to drill through there. As you can see, my model already had two existing holes. Not quite sure what those are used for, but I only needed to drill one more. If for some reason yours does not have those two, you will want to drill all three. So two holes will be where the nuts and bolts go, and the third one in the middle is where the wire feeds through. Next, I'm feeding the wires through that hole that was already cut into mine. This is feeding into the left side towards the auger and the pellet bin. I'm using a pair of pliers there just to kind of grab the wire out. So you're going to want to pull it towards the pellet bin and then pull it down. Here I'm connecting the nuts and bolts I mentioned earlier. I will say I'm using stainless steel. You should probably use some sort of galvanized or even maybe high heat. I'm not sure what these ones are rated, but that's what I had in my drawer. Alright, now we're going to take the two prong ends that you fed through the smoker and plug those into the control board on the back. I'm not sure if it matters whether one goes in the left or right or how that works, but the way that I connected them worked, so either I got lucky or it doesn't matter which one goes in which side. So go ahead and screw those down. I went just kind of hand tight, not too extreme. And then the last thing we need to do is connect all of the clips back together. They are all color coded, so it should be really easy. I didn't video the rest of that. My camera had some issues there. Here I'm actually having to drill out the existing hole. It did not fit the screws that were on my previous motherboard or control panel, and so I had to kind of widen those holes a little bit, and now I am tightening everything up And now is time for the big reveal. Got it outside, turned on the power, and there's the sound. The auger's running, the fan's going, everything is working great. You can kind of see the final product there. The probe sits up on the left side. And then this last clip here, I went ahead and set the smoker to 300, let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, came outside and checked my gauge, sitting up just over 300. So with the probe on the left side and the temperature gauge on the right, it makes sense that there are slightly different in temperature. I did this for several different settings and they all seem to work out. So thank y'all so much for watching.